All right, everybody, we're going to go over Unit 1, Lesson 1, Section 4, Exercise 7. The exercise tells us to say it in Latin. So before we can say it in Latin, we have to know what it says in English, and it says, they praise Mary. Well, let's break that down. Who praises Mary? Let's look for our subject. Well, they praise Mary. We don't have a noun to express they right now. So we know they can actually be expressed through the word praise. When we think of laudat and laudant, that could be they or he, she, it praises, or they praise. So let's start with our stem, L-A-U-D-A. Now, do we put the T or the NT? Well, this is plural, so we're going to put NT. Laudant. And what are they praising? Well, they're praising Mary. And Mary would be our direct object, and direct object in Latin goes in the accusative case. So we're going to write accusative, and is Mary singular or plural? She's singular. So if we look to our chart, our first declension chart, we're going to look for accusative singular, and that ending is A-M. So when we write it out in Latin or say it in Latin, usually we start with the subject. Our subject is not spoken out loud, it's put into our verb, so we're going to skip that, and now we're going to go to our direct object, which is Mary. We're going to put our stem down, which is Marie, and then we're going to add our ending, Mariam. Now we can go ahead and put our verb, it's the last in the sentence, L-A-U-D-A-N-T. So Mariam laudant. Moving on, number 5. Here's an example that says, the sailor does not praise the province. Who is the subject in the sentence? Well, the sailor is. So our subject goes in the nominative case. We have to ask, is this singular or plural? Well, sailor is singular, so it's going to be singular. Moving forward to does not. We know that is expressed in the Latin non, and it's put directly before the word it modifies, which is praise. Well, we know praise starts with lauda, L-A-U-D-A. Now, do we put the N-T, or do we put the T or the N-T? Well, our verb has to agree in number with our subject. Our subject here is the sailor, and the sailor is singular, so praise also needs to be singular. Singular is just the single T, so we have laudat. And now we have the province, which is our direct object. So the sailors do not praise the province, and direct object, again, is put in the accusative case. Is province singular or plural? It's singular. And what is the accusative singular of the first declension? That's going to be am. All right, moving on, how to say this in Latin. We're going to start with sailor. Our stem is N-A-U-T. Now what ending do we put on? Oops, I forgot to write it here. Our nominative singular ending is A. So we're going to say nauta. Now moving on, we're going to skip past our verb. And if we skip our verb, we're going to skip our modifier, because that modifier wants to go right directly before the verb. So let's pass over both and go straight to our direct object, which is our accusative singular province. So we're going to write our stem as provincia or provinci. So we have provinci here. Oh, I almost forgot the maker on here. So we have provinci. We're going to add our am here. So we have nautai provinciam. Now we're going to go ahead and put our verb, but we can't forget our verb modifier, which is non. So we're going to have non laudat. So the sailor does not praise the province translates to nauta provinciam non laudat. Our last example will be number 11. And number 11 says, the sailors see land. Who's the subject of our sentence? The subject is the sailors. So sailors would be nominative. Is that singular or plural? Sailors tells me it's plural. So what is the nominative plural of ending in the first declension? Nominative plural ending is AE. So we know sailors is going to end in AE. Now what do the sailors do? The sailors see. And we know we det and we dent is see. So let's start with the we de. Now, does this need to be singular or plural? We're going to remember that our verb agrees with our subject in number. So if our subject is plural, our verb must also be plural. So we have we dent, nt for plural, we dent. That leaves us with land, which is our direct object because the sailors see land. So our direct object is going to be accusative. Is that singular or plural? Land sounds singular to me. We're going to go with singular. Now what is accusative singular ending for the first declension? We have am. So we have the sailors see land. We're going to start with our subject, and our stem for sailors is naut, N-A-U-T. And what ending are we going to put? A-E, nautai. So nautai. Now we're going to skip past our verb and go to our accusative, our direct object, and it's land, which starts with ter. T-E-R-R is our stem for earth and land. We're going to add our am, our accusative singular ending. Teram. Now that we've gotten both our subject and our direct object, we can go ahead and plug in our verb, and our verb is we dent, having it plural to match our subject, and our sentence translates to nautai teram we dent.